Pleasant good morning to you, wherever it is you watching us from. This is Spoon TV Live coming to you from along the airfield road around Vamoma. My name is Diamond Slanger, and I'm doing this drive-through coverage to showcase to you what has been reported by several individuals' calls that we've had. As you can see, you see the water truck, the pressurized water truck. In Liberia, we call it a hot water truck. Is stationed here at the Vamoma junction, right here. As you can see, this has not been here since the last time. The last time I saw this truck stationed here was during the initial days of the enforcement, the regulations on motorcyclists. But it's here, and it has been reported that there has been a deployment of Liberian National Police officers across major intersections and junctions here along the Totman Boulevard and other stretches of the road. So we are taking a drive to authenticate, confirm that particular information. We've just seen the pressurized water truck there. We are along the Totman Boulevard. Another sighting was reported around the CDC headquarters, and we're driving there to show that to you as well. But the Police Inspector General, Colonel Gregory Coleman, on yesterday disclosed that there are a series of pending protest actions. He did not disclose which groups are planning such actions, but he did alarm that there will be protest actions this week. Again, the IG of police didn't state which days, but in law enforcement they say, as I've been told, I'm not a law enforcement officer, by the way, but they say presence is also pivotal, and whether or not the police is showing their presence and their show of force, we're waiting to see. But the police IG also did mention that there is an alarming number of unregistered and unlicensed firearms in the hands of individuals who shouldn't be bearing fire. Okay, there you go. All right, so there you see there is a police contingent right here by the gas station leading to the CDC headquarters. So we want to turn here a bit and show that to you. Yes, as you can see, police pickup trucks parked here. Police officers in their rioting gears as well. Right by the CDC headquarters. So we just want to drive slowly. I do see okay, this is an advertising holding. So police officers are here. As you can see, there they are in their riot gears, and they're sitting. This is just a stone's throw away from the CDC headquarters. So as you can see, they're in their rioting gears, and we have to drive slowly as we pass by them. Some of them carrying automatic rifles, as you can see. Others in their tear gas, with their tear gas canisters. They're wearing what we can call the tortoise suit, but that is their rioting gear. This is their truck, and they station here. So as to when this protest action is going to begin, we cannot tell you, but as you can see, there is a heavy presence of riot police officers just around the CDC headquarters. And we will be bringing you more image, more pictures. So we want to go further around the Catholic Junction area, ERWA Junction area, and the rest. But this is the CDC headquarters, the opposition CDC headquarters, and I do not see a gathering of people here, but the police have gathered just around the CDC party headquarters. So from there we'll go back and show you more images from that area, but we want to go further along the Totman Boulevard and see. So the calls that we've received of the deployment of police officers ahead of a series of planned protest actions, we've seen two major images, one around the CDC headquarters, and just around the gas station. There's a stone's throw away from the CDC headquarters, and we did see the pressurized water truck also along the Vamoma intersection. They're parked, stationed there. So we driving towards the Totman, the Catholic Junction, and subsequently along to the ERW junction and other places to see whether or not there is also a massive deployment of police officers, riot police officers, as we did see just along the CDC headquarters there. So just to confirm to you, normal activities ongoing in the country. As you can see, there is a normal flow of vehicular traffic. Nobody should tell you anything that, oh, there is a panic in the country and vehicles are not applying the roads and all of that. There is a normal flow of traffic, people going about their normal activities. Businesses are open, as you can see, pedestrians walking along the road. Commercial vehicles are also plying the major street here, the Todman Boulevard. And the IG also mentioned that they're working to have designated protest zones. So there isn't a heavy presence of police at the Catholic Junction, so we are passing and on we go. But the police IG also said that they're working on designated protest zones that protesters can go there and express their disenchantments and whatever petitions they have for their government, because protesting is guaranteed under our laws here in Liberia, but peaceful assembly is what it is. The police IG said they will provide loudspeakers once these designated protest zones have been, drawn up and they've been, approved, and protesters can go there and protest. The police will provide them loudspeakers. They will provide them with refreshments and all of these things, because it's guaranteed under our laws that our people can petition their government by peaceful assembly, and they can allow the government through their peaceful assembly to make decisions in their interest. So again, just to confirm to you that yes, there is a police presence, riot police officers and police officers carrying automatic rifles just around the CDC party headquarters, but they're not impeding anybody's movement. We've not seen any protesters gathering as well, though the IG hinted that this week we should brace ourselves for a series of protest actions across Monrovia, Montserrat at large, and other parts of the country. So we around the Nigeria House Junction, if you want to call it that way, around the German Embassy, we're making our way towards the ERW Junction, and we'll make a stop at Boulevard Junction to see whether or not there is also a presence of police, officers wearing rioting gears. Mind you, some aggrieved, dismissed officers of the Executive Protection Service, the EPS, have also announced that they too are going to protest because for what they claim unfair dismissal, and that the government is not paying them any heed. They're not paying them their just benefits that they are entitled to. The police IG also said, again, when addressing a press conference yesterday, an emergency called for press conference, Colonel Gregory Coleman disclosed that the shooting of a young man by an off-duty police officer, he described that as senseless, and said that the weapon that was used in the murder of that young Liberian man was an unregistered firearm, what they termed in their release, and according to the IG, a personal weapon, a personal firearm. Mind you, in Liberia, we do not have what is called personal firearm legally because there's still a ban on the uses and licensing of small arms by individuals that are not licensed to carry firearm. And he said the firearm was unregistered, and he also noted that there is an alarming number of unregistered and illegal firearm in the country. And so they're working towards making sure that that number can be reduced. He also cautioned that those who will be protesting should be mindful that there are individuals carrying unlicensed firearms, and there is a propensity that things could go south. And he just said that particular caution on yesterday. So as you can see along the Todman Boulevard, vehicular traffic is flowing. As you can see, there isn't any hindrance so far. We haven't spotted another large contingent of police officers like we did see around the CDC party headquarters, but we are pressing on. My name is Diamond Slanger. You're welcome. There is an ongoing protest in Nigeria dubbed "End Bad Governance." We also did witness what happened in Kenya that forced the president to recall a series of legislations and make new amendments and new adjusted measures in that country. Now, Liberia, there's been rumors of planned protest actions by the opposition CDC, you know, and other pressured groups as well, and other groups. But as to when they will gather, that we cannot tell. As to whether or not they've gone for their permit, that is a requirement by law to get a permit from the Ministry of Justice, that will subsequently inform the police, and you protesters will be guarded so as not to impede vehicular traffic and not to cause disturbances. We are yet to establish that as well. So there along the Congertown Back Road is just the normal police traffic stop routine that is ongoing. So there is nothing, you know, out of the ordinary here along the Congertown Back Road intersection. So we press on towards the Boulevard Junction. Spoon TV, my name is Diamond Slanger. It's a sunny Monday morning, late Monday morning, 10 minutes to midday. The sun is up. Yes, we're in a rainy season, but sometimes we do get a bit of sunshine. So let's confirm again, as we did along the CDC party headquarters, whether or not there is a massive deployment of police officers at major intersections that has been reported by some of our followers, and some of the individuals who decided to share the information with us. We'd love to tell you thank you for always spotting, see something, say something, and we as media practitioners, we will do our bit in making sure we can confirm information given us as well. So yes, confirmation number one, yes, we can confirm to you that there is a police deployment. The concentration so far is just around the headquarters of the opposition CDC. Yes, there is a confirmation that we did see the pressurized water truck just stationed along the Vamuma House intersection right by the filling station. Yes, did we see a large contingent of police officers around Vamuma area? No, only the pressurized water truck. So we are approaching the Boulevard Junction, and to see whether or not there is, you know, the presence of riot police officers as well, or police officers carrying firearms. Just passing White Flower, the residence of former President Charles Dakwana Gange Taylor, descending and going towards the Boulevard Junction. So it's calm, it's peaceful, it's normal. We can report to you, and we haven't seen any protesters gathering. All we've seen so far is the presence of law enforcement, heavy presence of law enforcement officers around the headquarters of the opposition CDC. But we press on, approaching Boulevard Junction. Approaching Boulevard Junction, so we pan left and pan right, and this is where the famous police booth used to be. It's no longer there, according to the police. It was rammed into a vehicle, and that is not there. So we can confirm there isn't a heavy presence of police officers at the Boulevard Junction. So yes, so far only one area that we've seen the presence of riot police officers and police officers carrying rifles. Now we press on towards the S.T. Cooper Junction. Okay, so everything is normal, as you can see. As per what we've seen, no protesters, gathering, no placards, no banners, nothing of that sort. All what is happening here is normal traffic police officers routine. Inspecting the papers of motorcyclists and making sure that they abide by the regulations. Now, helmet, registration, insurance, reflector, jacket, wearing boots, making sure your bike is registered. It's just normal traffic routine, normal traffic stops here along the SD Cooper Junction. So the men in blue are not like the men in black that we saw around the CDC headquarters. So we press on from the SD Cooper Junction to the ERWA Junction as well. So if you did get the information from your relatives, from your friends, that yes, they did see police officers, around the CDC headquarters at the filling station. In fact, let's establish that they are at the filling station and in no way, on the premises or just near the CDC headquarters. No, there is a considerable alley space between where they are at the filling station and that of the CDC headquarters. So they're not on the grounds of the CDC headquarters. That is what we want to confirm to you. They are around just on the premises of a filling station, that there is an alley space between the CDC headquarters and where the police officers are stationed. All right, so we are at the ERWA Junction, the roundabout that has got the artificial grass, which again is another call that Liberians are saying it should be changed from the artificial carpet to the actual natural flowers and grass. But that is a conversation for another day. All right, so we make our turn here at the roundabout and we head back towards the CDC headquarters. So yeah, the ERWA Junction, all you can see is there isn't street sellers, street hawkers, nothing. The place is cleared. There isn't a heavy presence of police officers as we did see there. So taking a turn, this is a confirmation drive for you, so you don't have to rely on hearsay. You don't have to rely on hearsay. So yes, the ERWA Junction is cleared. Previously, you see vehicles parked left and right, street sellers left and right. It will be congested to even make a move, but the PCC is doing a good job and we must commend them. So let's head back towards the headquarters of the Congress now for democratic change. So yes, was there a hint or intel of pending protest actions? The police IG, Colonel Gregor Coleman, yesterday made that revelation and said they've been informed, according to their intelligence gathered, that groups, he didn't mention the names of the groups though, but he said groups are planning protest actions for various reasons, and we haven't heard from those groups what would be the theme of their different protest actions. What are they protesting against? Yellow machine? What are they protesting against? The recent wave of death caused by police officers? What are they protesting against? What they've dubbed as the resistance, against the persecution of some former officials of the CDC? What are they protesting against? The price drop of transportation fares in the country? What are taxi drivers are going to protest? We haven't gotten the reason or reasons behind those protests. They were kept, the police IG kept those information close to his chest. The days as well of these planned protest actions, he didn't say, but as you can see, there has been a show of presence, a show of force by the LNP, and concentrating just around the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change. So we're making our way back, and we'll keep pointing out what we see as you ride along with me. So everybody's going about their businesses. So we're approaching where the police booth used to be. So let me zoom in a bit. So where you see the red, white, and blue blockade, that is where the booth used to be, replaced by a police motorbike. And this is Liberia on a Monday afternoon. No protest action ongoing. No protest action ongoing. This is White Flower, the residence of former President Taylor. As to where the designated protest zones would be once they confirmed, as according to the IG, that's another question. But he did say they're working on making sure there are designated protest zones. That protesters, once they have gotten a permit from the Ministry of Justice, where they can assemble and petition their government. We are making our way back to the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change. And again, just to reiterate that the police contingent that we did see, consisting of riot police officers, PSU officers, officers carrying automatic rifles, they're not on the premises of the CDC. Just to confirm that, because we need to provide to you the facts as we see them. So they're on the premises of a filling station that is just a stone's throw away from the CDC's headquarters. So they're not actually on the grounds of the CDC. We don't want that information being misconstrued. That Spoon journalist said the police is on the premises of the CDC. They're not. They're just around the premises of the CDC, stationed at the filling station, just around the premises of the CDC. So they're not in any way on the grounds of the CDC. Did we see a mass gathering of people on the grounds of the CDC? Nope. That is the reason we're going back to show that to you again. We're now around the ministerial complex. Yeah, so you see, folks are moving about their normal activities. There isn't the impeding of traffic, or we haven't seen any mass gatherings. But we'll be on this for the entire week. We will be making sure that we bring to you the scene and the happening in the country, as the police IG has already put us on our alert that there has been a planned series of protest actions slated for this week. Whether the planners are going to change their due dates, because those days and dates have not been even announced, whether or not they were just to be, what we call a sprout action. They just come out, unannounced and start taking over the streets. That is what we are anticipating, and hence we will keep bringing you these images this entire week, and making sure that we put you in the driver's seat of what's happening across the country. So yes, there's been serious debates on all sectors of society whether you're in position or no position, concerning the recent arrest and subsequent imprisonment based on the order of the judge on remand of the former Solicitor General, Councillor Yanati Tuan, former National Security Advisor to President William Jefferson Camus, and the Comptroller of the FIA, D. Cooper, but they have been released on a $12 million United States dollars bond guaranteed by the Sky Insurance International. So yeah, one thing we're also noticing is that there has been serious adherence to the regulations imposed on motorcyclists, the wearing of helmets, reflective jackets, you know, insurance and all that. You see passengers are wearing their helmets. So there's been on a larger extent, larger scale, compliance by motorcyclists. There you go again. That's just on the lighter side, as we showcased to you. Liberia ahead of a series of planned protest actions. So yes, the regulation has been adhered to. A majority of motorcyclists, as you can see, they are wearing their helmets. I'm using majority because there are some folks who, no matter what you say or what you do, they're not going to abide by rules or regulations. Not all. And they will take their chances along the Totman Boulevard. So yes, bike riders and passengers wearing their helmets, and that's good safety wise, and we must applaud them. So we're a bit far from the headquarters of the CDC. We're somewhere around, we just crossed the Nigeria House Junction, headed towards Catholic Junction. So we haven't seen, as well on this drive, we haven't seen, you know, police pickups filled with police officers up and down the major Tottenham Boulevard here. No, we haven't seen that. All we've seen so far is that the police contingent, consisting of riot police officers, officers carrying automatic rifles and the rest, they concentrated just around the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change. While the intel gathered by our intelligence officers points to the fact that there might be a gathering, an illegal gathering, you know, around the headquarters of the CDC. That information has not been shared with us, so we can only speak to what we've seen as to where we've seen them concentrated thus far. We'll make our way towards town to see whether or not there is also a deployment of police officers further towards Monrovia. But we in the Congo town belt, just past Catholic Junction, and in a minute or two we will be around the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change. Once we get around there, we'll slow down so that you can get a better view. All right, so let me zoom in a bit. All right, so this is the headquarters of the CDC. And as you can see, there isn't a mass gathering of people. There isn't. In fact, looking at the area is empty, apart from some few individuals that are going about their activities. But this is the gas station. So you see the distance between where the CDC headquarters is and where the police officers are. So I'm trying to get the phone off the holder. Okay, so you see there, the police officers are in the first time we've seen a police pickup moving with riot police officers. So there the police officers are. The station, they're seated, they're not in formation. So you can see, and one pickup, one truck, and at least over 100 plus police officers there. So that is that. And we make our way towards town. So So bear with me, it will be a bit shaky. So I'm trying to reposition the phone in the holder. All right, so we move back. We move towards town, I should say. So that's just to confirm to you that yes, there is the presence of police officers, not on the premises of the CDC, but not too far from the headquarters of the CDC as well. They seated, and it is all peaceful and calm here in Monrovia. Pressing towards town, just around the Vamuma House Junction, where the famously known hot water truck, as we can call it in Liberia, is where we saw it. Whether or not it is still there, we going to confirm whether or not it is still stationed here. Can I zoom in a bit? Yes. Okay, it's still stationed there. So there it is. So it is still stationed. So there it is. The hot water truck is still stationed there, and good thing they stop for vehicles coming from the airfield side to pass. So it's stationed there, and we're not seeing. Yes, sir. Yeah, good. So we're not seeing any. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. So we're not seeing, very large presence of police officers. 1 or 2 riot police officers we're seeing right there. Station here, Vamuma. All right, so we can move slowly to bring you the picture. So there isn't a large number. Okay, I see some officers seated there. See police commanders and the rest. All right, so there you have it. Let's press towards town. So we're pressing towards town. If you're just joining us, we're taking you on a drive around Monrovia, from Pinsville, Congo Town to Monrovia, where it was reported by some folks who called in to tip us that they did see police gathering around, and we decided to follow up on that information. Yesterday, the Police Inspector General, Colonel Gregory Coleman, made a disclosure that there is a series of planned protest actions, and he didn't specify the days these protest actions will commence or will be staged, but also cautioned that there is a very, very alarming number of unregistered firearms in the hands of individuals who shouldn't be possessing firearms, and warned protesters that as the gathering, they should be reminded that there is an alarming number of unlicensed firearms across the country. He also spoke about the incident involving an off-duty police officer who fatally shot and killed a young man. The name of the police officer was David Fire. According to the IG, he has subsequently been arrested and is ongoing investigation at the Liberia National Police Headquarters. He termed the process involving the investigation as transparent, that he will make sure that information surrounding that particular investigation is always in a timely manner released to the public, and not just the bereaved family, for which he extended his condolences to, but for Liberians to trust in the process, in the investigative process concerning or surrounding that particular incident. So we are around 20th Street. Interestingly, our only working traffic light along the entire Tottenham Boulevard so far. So yeah, so moving 20th Street, headed to town. So we'll make a drive along Capitol Hill. You know, we take a drive along Capitol Hill. The reason is those are our key, where the location where our key government installations are, the seat of the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary is a hotspot for protesters, because they then directly get to protest on Capitol Hill in front of the top decision makers. So again, that is where the question of a designated protest zone comes in, because Capitol Hill is the hottest spot, the epicenter for protest actions in our country. You know, whether or not, and logically speaking, folks we've spoken to have said that would not be one of the designated protest zones based on how sensitive that area is and how, you know, security wise important Capitol Hill is. So whether or not the designated protest zone will be in Painesville or in Monrovia, or how many zones there would be, that is another question. But our main focus here is whether or not there is a massive deployment of police officers in anticipation of a widespread series of protest actions. And so far, large deployment, nope. Deployment, yes. Police officers in anticipation of a protest or a riot, yes. Concentration just around the CDC headquarters. So far, that's what we've seen. That's the reason we're making our way to central Monrovia. We're on 14th Street now, headed towards our nation's capital. Normal activities are ongoing, nothing disturbed. Street and headed to town. My name is Damas Langer. Thank you so much for joining this live podcast as we showcase to you Monrovia ahead of rumored series of planned protest actions, and we around the headquarters of the National Elections Commission between 10th and 9th Streets. I want to see whether or not there is also the presence, the heavy presence, not just the presence, but the heavy presence of riot police officers. So I pen towards the headquarters of the NEC. And this is also the road leading to one of the residences of President Weah, former President George Manneh Weah, one of the residents of former President George Manneh Weah. So whether or not there is a heavy presence of police officers here, so far so good. As you can see, confirm for yourselves. We are not seeing any thus far. Just the normal okay. So the taxi there is blocking our view But I do see a number of police officers. There you go. Let me take the phone out. Okay, so some of them are wearing riot gears, as you can see. So some of them are wearing riot gears, but it's not a heavy presence though. It is not. Okay, we see one of the police speaker. Okay. Yeah, so it's not a heavy presence. Okay, so 9th Street, there isn't a heavy presence of police officers, as you can see. Nothing out of the ordinary there. So let's continue our journey to town. So we're headed to 5th Street, and there's a little bit of traffic ahead of us. So there is a little bit of traffic ahead of us, but so far we haven't seen anything of a protest action, and we pressing our way towards Capitol Hill. Pressing our way towards Capitol Hill. As to what is causing the traffic ahead of us, well, there is an inspection point just around the city hall. Whether or not that is what is causing the traffic, we cannot confirm at the moment, but vehicular traffic is flowing. Pedestrians are moving about. And we're stuck here. We're stuck here for a while. And I know somebody coming to opposite lane. It's turning. So that pickup is turning. Whether or not there's something serious happening ahead of us, we want to press on there and see what is causing this go slow or this traffic congestion. So your pardon me are coming to serious accident. Don't know what happening ahead. If it's something that needs urgent attention, then I can disembark, park the vehicle at a safe space and disembark and go and see. Uh, but if it's just a routine traffic stop that is causing this, we'll see. But I want to ask some of the pedestrians that are coming from that direction as to what's happening. But we're moving slowly though, so we're moving on. So just a recap, if you're just joining us, we did get the intel from several sources that they did see, police deployment, police officers in riot gears and all that. So we sought to confirm that particular information, especially concerning what the IG of police said on yesterday, that there are a series of planned protest actions across the country this week, specifically here in Monrovia. All right. And the IG didn't state where these protest actions will take place and the groups that are going to stage these protest actions as well. Yes, on our drive, we did see, a contingent of police officers just around the headquarters of the CDC, but not on the premises of the CDC, but they're just around the headquarters of the CDC, stationed there in their riot gears and all of that. Excuse me 1 minute, let me. Dada, what's up? What did you find that I'm plugging the traffic? You can't find you for that? Now, what did you find that I'm plugging the traffic? What did you find that I'm plugging the traffic? Ah, the man said, as in, man, you're shaking. All right, so this another pickup full of police officers, with their siren blaring. They just passed us. They're ahead of us, you know. Yeah, the man trying to get information for. But we're pressing on. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But we're trying to see if it's something that we can pack at a safe space and then, find our way there, make our way there. But we're pressing on. So. Yeah, so as I was saying, we did see police officers just around the headquarters of the CDC, but at least not on the premises of the CDC. They stationed at the gas station. I think it's called JR gas station or so. I think that's the name. The name has been erased, but that is what it's called, the JR gas station. Just along the Old Road Junction there. That's where they're stationed. They're not in any way on the grounds of the Congress for Democratic Change as to why they stationed there in such a last. So another pickup full of police officers is coming from behind us. So you can see in the mirror, they're coming. And this is the second pickup full of police officers in their riot gears. So there they are. They're responding to a scene or so, but this is the second pickup that has passed us. So if you have information whether or not there is a gathering of protesters any part of the capital city or any part of Pinsville, kindly contact us so that we can move there and showcase to you what is happening. We want to speak to those who would be protesting and bring you protest scenes if there is any. But that is the second police pickup that has passed us here along Fifth Street with their siren blaring. As to whether or not it's just a routine show of force, we cannot confirm that to you. But what we can confirm to you is the IG has said that there is slated to be a series of protest actions across Monrovia and its environs. So what was causing the traffic, we cannot see anything of such. So we are pressing on, now passing the headquarters of the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and headed towards Capitol Hill if there is no traffic in a minute or two. It's a sunny Monday afternoon. My name is Diamond Slanger. Thank you so much for being on this drive as we bring you facts. We bring you facts. So nobody should say, oh, police on CDC headquarters ground. No. As of the time we passed, again, I can't speak to what's unfolding behind me because I'm not there, but as of the time we passed, the headquarters of the CDC, we did not see any police officers on the grounds of the CDC, but they are stationed just around the headquarters of the CDC on the premises of the JR gas station or the JR filling station, if you want to call it that way. Okay, so we have to make an emergency stop. We have to make an emergency stop. Huh? All right, thank you. All right, folks.